Who cares for the collection infrastructure? In Germany, it's industry who cares for the infrastructure. They call for tender, and as there's since a few years competition in Germany on the system level, all these 10 and I think in a few months 11 systems use one infrastructure that collects from the inhabitants. Then there are some countries like Estonia where every system has to set up its own infrastructure. They really brought competition to the most extensive way. If you go to a big square in Estonia, you can find different containers from different competing systems for the same material. I don't know whether this is really useful, but of course competition authorities are completely happy for this. And then, as I said, in the UK, it's the local authorities who are responsible for the collection. Industry has neither influence nor they have to pay for it. They have to pay in the end recycling certificates from the recyclers. So, what is now the best solution? Shall we have a packaging tax like in Denmark? Everyone is paying a hell of a money and that's it? Or is it better as industry, to engage, to do something, to take care of the products we put on the market? Again, in which way? You have seen that there are a lot of solutions, and interestingly, all the 12 so-called all member states are fulfilling the targets. So all of them are doing the job. So the performance, it's difficult to take as a measuring point. Nevertheless, what is extremely important for any implementation is that the stakeholders play their role in the best way. And this is usually the problem. It's not enough for a government and a parliament just to make a legislation and go away. It's like with the speed limit on the motorway. If you don't monitor the behavior of the people, if you don't make controls, a speed limit is useless. And this is the same in our area. You have to control, as government and local authorities, what the obliged companies, what the local authorities, what everyone is doing. And the same counts for the waste sector. The companies have to do their best. They have to look for better ways how to optimize the system. The obliged companies, I think it's not enough just to pay and go away. They can do a lot in the engagement. We have many competence, expertise. We can optimize our packaging, design for recycling, just a few words. And then, of course, the system that is built has a very important role as well, as it can always make bridges between the different actors. How often does a company talk to a recycler? How does a company know whether a new packaging causes problems in recycling? I think this is one of the jobs of the EPR system, to make the bridge and to inform each other about the needs and the possibilities. There are a lot of other things that an EPR system has to do. It has always to take care that the collection and recycling system should be organized in the most efficient way. So try to call for tender from the collection to the sorting to the recycling. In some countries, even the transportation in between the steps is called for tender. So there are a lot of ways how a system can help to optimize the system. My friends in Belgium are just installing a kind of software for the glass collection, where they note where every container is standing in a city, and the software then calculates what is the best way for a waste management truck to empty these containers. And they told me that by using this software you can reduce the collection costs by 10 to 20%. So I think these are roles that our industry system can play. And on the other side, we have to be very transparent. We have to show what the costs are, what is industry paying, what are the other actors paying, why they are paying what in which way. We should not discriminate between the companies from my point of view. I think this is, for me, a very hot topic in the German system at the moment. From the competition implementation a few years ago, the big companies profited a lot. They could reduce their payment a lot. But if you speak to small companies, they pay more or less the same as 5 years, 7 years ago. I doubt whether this is the right approach. I would be happy if this is a more fair approach in these countries. And we should not only try to collect and to recycle the packaging. We should engage ourselves in education, prevention and communication. And I know that Recopol is always doing a great job here to raise the awareness of the people that says separation is the right way, is a good way, that we should not try to take every time a plastic bag, for example, and. So there are a lot of roles that an industry system can play in addition and in cooperation with the local authorities. Of course, things are much easier if you have a single service provider, like in Belgium, like in Spain or so on. I think the role is easier to set up an infrastructure for the household collection, which is the toughest challenge in this area. But nevertheless, if you have a legislation where you have competition, I think you have to take care of some very important conditions to help the system work and to avoid that some free riders from the obliged systems or some, let's call it free riders in the compliance schemes, benefit as they do not fulfill their role. And this is, again, I can only speak in the best way from my German experience. The free riding problem, the misbehavior of some systems, this is the biggest problem. And there, the government again has to play a big role. They have to monitor. They have to monitor the system to avoid that the people who behave in a good way are punished. In Germany at the moment we have a free riding percentage of 30 to 35%. I think this is a lot. 2/3 are paying and 1/3 is not paying. But it's not the way that 1/3 of the companies is not paying. It seems that in the meantime all of them have adapted their reporting in a very creative way, so that they don't pay for 100% of the packaging, they only pay for 70% or 60%, and you can play a lot with definitions, so you need a strong body to monitor. And in Germany it's now the idea for the next revision of the packaging ordinance to install a new body which is privately run, but that has some governmental rights to control and to monitor, like in the WE sector where this is working quite well in Germany. So you see, even in a system of more than 20 years, there's always development and always new challenges which has to be solved. EPR, I don't know why, since 1 year, it is a topic which is discussed quite strongly in Europe, in the US. Suddenly a lot of statements and position papers are popping up, starting in the US, now coming to Europe as well. So I think we are in the start of a very interesting discussion whether EPR is a good way forward and which kind of EPR. The European Commission has done some studies about this. What are the best tools to implement our waste legislation? They have said that EPR is one of the tools, together with pay-as-you-throw for inhabitants and landfill taxes or ban. So I think EPR will not go away. Even perhaps going stronger, it might even be an idea to put EPR in the packaging directive. The good thing is that the Commission has decided to study this approach in a deeper way. I'm always happy if the legislator is checking what they did and whether it makes sense. It's not so often the case, unfortunately. So there's at the moment a study going on to identify the best EPR system in Europe. I think it will be very interesting to see the outcome of this. Just to end my old profession, it's a nice club, the Green Dot Systems. We are moreover all over Europe, try to cooperate together as far as possible. And of course the Green Dot is a protected trademark. So we have there very often a free rider problem as well, which we try to tackle. But I think it's a very good brand for the inhabitants and for our companies to show how industry is engaging in solving the problem of packaging waste. I'm always happy to answer your question today and tomorrow. Just send me an email, and thanks a lot for inviting me to Warsaw. I'm always very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joachim.